Hello everybody and welcome back to Linda Tina TV. If it's not your first time here and if it is your first time, my name is Linda Tina, a Ugandan from Africa living in Italy, Milan, and I make videos about lifestyle and everything in between, living abroad as an African woman, motherhood, marriage and travel, everything. So in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about things I wish I knew earlier in my life.
You trying to make me, I wanna leave and you're making, I try to see the one I need to love.
So the things we're going to talk about are not things that actually relate to me directly. What I did is I asked a question on Instagram. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, Linda Tina TV, follow me. So I sent out a question and asked you guys, what are some things you wish you knew earlier in your life? And these are the questions, the answers I'm going to read, and then we'll talk about it, yeah? So the first one was, I wish I knew that life is different for every person. I wouldn't have been too tough on myself in my earlier years. She's 26 years old. So what happens is, in your earlier years, you feel like we should all be doing the same things, or maybe that in things, or, our lives are going to follow the same path, and, we're going to have the same careers maybe, or we're going to just go and live in the same places. I don't know. You have this thing where you think we're all destined to go through this life cycle or these life goals, which when you get older, you realize that everyone has their different life story to write, a different one for everyone, and that doesn't make one's better than the other. So it's important that you understand that we're all going to have different paths, different goals, different destinies, and that is all right. It doesn't make yours or another person's less than. It just means that we're individuals and we need to embrace that. So this is actually a good one. The next one is, I wish I knew that having kids before your life is put together is a no-no. I wish I had waited until I was done. This is with my first pregnancy. The same person says, I wish I had waited until I was done with my degree. Now I'm drowning hard and finding it difficult to balance. She's 29 years old. This is for the pregnancy number 2. To be honest with you, I don't think there's really the right time to have kids. It depends on your life situation, like basically where you are in life, with the person you want to have these kids with, how you feel emotionally, how you are financially, because let's not deny it, kids are expensive. So there's no really right time, but what I can say for sure is that before anyone decides to have a child, it's really important that you think about it, that you talk about it with the person you're planning to have a child with. I mean, if it happens when it's not planned, that's a whole different story. But if it's something that you're going into knowingly, it's good that you analyze your life situation and how you want to do it and how you're going to carry on after kids, because life does change. It changes the dynamics of the relationship with your partner, and it changes your life entirely. And this is not just for a moment, it's for forever. Until that child is still present, your life is going to be different. So I think what she's trying to say is she wishes she had thought things through. Maybe she would have made a different decision, but you kind of work with what life brings you. But for those who don't have kids yet, it's important that you think about it. I had my son when I was 25. I turned 26 when I was in hospital after I just had him. And to be honest with you, sometimes when I look back, I'm like, maybe I could have had my kids when I'm older, like 30. And also other times I'm like, but it's nice that I had them at that time. I was ready. It was very planned. I felt ready. I was in, that time in my life where I feel like, yeah, let's do this. But then sometimes I'm like, I could have had them older. So it depends on where you are in life. That determines a lot on how you want to do the parenting and motherhood thing. So think about it really hard before you get into that decision. The next one is, I wish that I knew saving money is very important. 30 years old. Yes, saving money is super important. I'm not very good at it, but I'm working on that. It's very important, not only for a rainy day, but it could be a rainy day for your partner. It could be a rainy day for a relative. So it's not just for you, but for anything that could happen. And also, I think it gives you a sense of security to know that, if anything happens, I can take care of myself, If you're a parent, you know that if anything happens, I can take care of my kids. So saving is really important. Plus, you don't know how long you're going to be on this earth, Some people say, you know what, life is short, let's just, live and leave. But you don't know how long you're going to be here. If you're going to be here for the next 50, 60 years, you need to know that, I'm covered for this time that I'm going to be here. So yeah, saving is very important. This one says, I wish I knew that no one knows it all. We're all just winging it, so I need not to be anxious and be patient with myself. 32 years old. You know that person that you look up to, that you feel has their life all figured out? You'll be surprised to find that they have so many doubts, so many questions, and they're literally just taking each day as it comes. So to be honest, I don't think there's one single person who has everything figured out. Their love life, their financial life, their spiritual life, their friendships, their relationships. I don't think there's any person like that. So don't be too hard on yourself. And this honestly does come with maturity as well. When you're younger, everything just looks so nice and easy. But the older you get, the more you understand that every day we learn something new. Every day we build our characters, we build our relationships, and no one has it all figured out. This is really another good one that I wish I knew earlier in life. At first I used to think that everyone is just happy and doing it all and has it figured out. Not really. The next one is, I wish I knew that in the end things fall into place. So be patient with the journey. This is kind of the same as what we've just talked about. Life is a journey, and if you have a goal, you're not going to just jump and get there. You're going to work towards that goal, and as you work towards the goal, there's going to be bumps, there's going to be setbacks. So you have to appreciate the journey. You have to understand that before you get what you really want, there is a course that you have to go through. The next one says, I wish I knew how much my body would change after birth. I would have had kids later. This is something that's going to resonate a lot with many moms. I honestly wish I knew my body would change. It wouldn't change my decision to have kids or when I had them, but it would have prepared me better for the whole journey I've gone through, learning to love myself again, building my esteem. So after I had my son, my body didn't change much. Then after my daughter, 2 years later, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, who is this? So I don't know if I would have had kids later, and I don't know. I know for a fact I would have still had my kids, but maybe it would have made me a little more prepared and also understand this motherhood thing and what it can do to you. Guys, I don't mean to scare you, but just so you know, we're telling you now, your body's gonna change. For some people, not. I mean, I've seen women snap back and I'm like,
how did you do that?
But if your genes are not set up that way, just psychologically prepare yourself that it could happen that tummy won't be that flat anymore, and then you're gonna have some stretch marks here and there. The boobs may be a bit all over the place. Just psychologically prepare yourself for that. Next is, I wish I knew that it was okay to set boundaries with family. I am 27 now and thriving. Oh wow, this is something very very serious, especially if you come from a culture like mine where family is everything. And this is something that I adore. When people tell me I don't talk to my family, I don't connect at all with anyone in my family, I look at them and I'm like, why? I want to hear this story. Could you please explain to me how it's possible that you don't get along with anyone in your family? And sorry, I'm not judging. People have issues in their families that may be hard for an outsider to understand, so I respect that. But family is really important to me. But saying that, I will also say that it's important that you let family know the lines they can and cannot cross. Usually we're too scared to be direct and forward with family and tell them, listen, I cannot have family lunch on Sunday because I need to spend time with my kids and my husband, and that should be fine. It's important that you tell them, we can't be a part of this because we don't agree with this. It's important that you're very open with your family and you set boundaries and make them clear. Just because they are blood doesn't mean that you're going to be okay with everything that they do. Feel free to even put yourself out of a certain situation or out of a family situation if it doesn't sit well with you. I mean, people do cut off family members because, you know, they don't agree to things that are very important to them, and that's okay. If you're talking over things and it's not working, it's okay to set some boundaries. Totally agree with that. I wish I knew that being 30 is not old at all. Totally agree with that. I remember when I was 20, me and my best friend at the time used to say, oh my God, those guys are old. They're 28. And now that I'm 32, I'm like, what? I'll do anything to be 28 right now. Next one. I wish I knew that the journey of life is not just smooth. This is personhood 37. Oh yeah, life is not smooth, and the sooner you realize that, the better. But don't be scared. I mean, I think bumps make life more interesting. Can you imagine if everything was smooth sailing, no humps, no nothing? I think that would be boring. So yeah, life ain't easy, but grab it by the, you know. 40 years. I wish I knew that this motherhood thing is this testing. Mothers, what's happening? Yep, motherhood is not easy, and like I said earlier, it's something you want to think about before you dive in. You want to be prepared psychologically, financially, emotionally. It comes with a lot, so be prepared. If it happens, you know, without planning, okay, but if you can plan ahead and try to put yourself in the right mindset for it, I think it's great. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to the end of this video, I think this was a fantastic video to film because we learn not only from our experiences but experiences of others and even mistakes that we've made in the past. It's nice to look back and see what we learned from it. So that was great, and thank you for sharing. For those who did, do share down in the comment section things you have you wish you knew earlier in your life. That would be nice to hear what other stories you have. Otherwise, see you in my next video, and bye bye.